Hey guys, welcome back to the game room. I just wanted to wish you a happy holiday. I hope you're having a wonderful time with your friends and family, if you have the ability to see them, and that it's been a relatively stress-free period for you. Here, I have a present. It says, to RNG Gamer from RNG Gamer. How kind of me. I shouldn't have. But I just wanted to share with you, I think, the 22 games that I've picked up over the last couple of months. So have a seat, grab a drink, and let's sit back and go through these. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps grow the channel, and I just love the interaction with you guys. All right, well, let's crack open this present here. Very exciting. Never opened a present on camera before. This is excruciatingly awkward. Do I look at the present or do I look at the camera? It's kind of like when you open holiday presents in front of your friends. Like, you want to like look at them or look at the present? Anyway, here we go. Let's bust it open. Oh, like an idiot, I used too much tape. What are you going to do? I couldn't hold the box closed unless I used all this tape. There's too much stuff in here, and this thing's like busting at the seams. So that's kind of cool. All right, we're back. The package is open. Let's just dive right in. Up first, we have a PlayStation 5 game from our buddies over at Special Reserve Games, and done by Devolver Digital, which I think exclusively releases on Special Reserve Games. But it's Trek to Yomi, which is supposed to be like a really cool sort of side-scrolling kind of, who was that Japanese director? Kurosawa, that did like the Seven Samurai, like all black and white, kind of striking silhouette style, and aesthetic to it. And this is supposed to be really good. I kind of watched some previews of this and it looked like a lot of fun. And so I want to dive into this, but I don't know much about it. I picked it up because it looked so cool. Oh, this is a shoot 'em up, a shmup from Video Games of New York Soft, which is really cool. I think it's a store and they publish their own games, but this one's called Stellar Interface. I waited for this one for a good long while, and I was glad to see it finally showed up towards the end of the year. But this one is really cool. It looks very hectic for a shmup, so I'm excited about that. You know how much I love these kind of games, and so I'm really looking forward to playing this one as well. And from that same order, I ordered a Dreamcast game, and this is FX Unit Yuki. This came out a while ago, and I remember everybody was picking this up. It came out on a ton of systems, and I just sort of let it pass me by, but I decided to go ahead and pick this one up as well. I know it's supposed to be a pretty decent side-scroller. I don't know how the Dreamcast version holds up. I think there was like a PC Engine CD version of this that's maybe like the definitive one, but this one still looks pretty good, and you can still pick this up relatively easy. I've seen it at conventions for kind of like an elevated price. You don't have to do that. You can still get it online. This one's from Red Art Games. I really like Red Art Games. I think they put out a lot of really cool games that other indie publishers aren't picking up, and like their prices are reasonable and the shipping is reasonable, even though it's coming from, I believe, Germany. Is it Germany? And they get here really quickly, and this was no exception. This one took a little while, but I mean, compared to like some of these other companies that take years to ship their stuff, you know, a couple months isn't too bad. But it's Heidelberg 1693 on the PS5. This looks like kind of a horror side-scroller kind of action game. I don't really know much about this, but like I said, with Red Art Games, they're so reasonably priced. Like, I don't feel bad about picking them up. It's not like they're, you know, $60, $70. They're 20 euros or so. So with how the dollar was doing versus the euro when I picked this up, that was a pretty good steal. Here's one on the PS4, and like many of you, I waited a long time for this to come out physically. It feels like forever, and it was I think my number one game that I wanted to come out physically. They put out an Xbox One version of it a while ago that was like a download code in the box only. I didn't get that, of course, but they finally released this on the PS4 and the Switch. I know it's really good, and I've never played it. I've been waiting. My daughter, who's 8, wants to play it with me because she likes the animated show on Netflix, but let me tell you, I know she's going to be in for a wild ride because she's never played like an old school side-scrolling action game. Definitely not a run and gun. And she's not used to that difficulty. She plays like Minecraft and like Astrobot. But that is Cuphead. And I'm really looking forward to this. I've wanted to play it for such a long time. And I know the animation is unbelievable and really unparalleled. And this, whew, buddy, I'm really looking forward to this. This might be a gold star game. In case you wanted to know, a gold star is where, since I play everything randomly, if I beat enough games, I earn a gold star and I get to pick what I want to play, which rarely happens, but I might make this game one of those, just so I can jump into the front of the backlog. These next two games are classics that are re-releases by Strictly Limited Games, and it took a while for them to get here. But I will say this, I remember pre-ordering these games, and I pre-ordered them while in the VIP section at the Shaky Knees Music Festival, waiting for Foo Fighters to come on. So while Foo Fighters were like coming on stage, I was pre-ordering these games because I was sure they were going to sell out. I like set a reminder on my phone, but they're still available. You can still go order them right now. So I like missed Monkey Wrench or something by the Foo Fighters trying to order these in the middle of a concert. And of course, like, my phone service was really bad because there's like 100,000 people at this show. But it's Cotton 100% on the Super Nintendo. This is a classic Cotton game. If you don't know, it's a side-scrolling shmup with a little like witch girl, and it's a fun game. I know this one's not considered to be one of the better ones in the series, but they've been releasing a lot of these recently. And I want to play this. I think I've only played it once, and I played the real version of it at my friend's house, and he had it, and it was good, but I didn't get to spend much time with it at all. And this next one goes along with it. It's on the Sega Genesis, and that's Panorama Cotton. This one I have played. I have 1 credit cleared this game, and this is the most impressive looking 16-bit game I've ever seen. It's like it's kind of like Space Harrier. It's a shmup, but you're sort of flying into the screen in a sort of a third-person view, and the animation in this is amazing. I have this on the Genesis, but it's like a bootleg version that I bought just to play and 1 credit clear for a challenge I did. And I bought a bootleg, and it was like busted, and the sprites didn't work. They were just glitches, and you couldn't see bullets coming at you or anything. And I spent like hours trying to 1 credit clear that version, not knowing it was busted. So then I picked up another version of it and was able to 1 credit clear. But I'm glad I have an official release here of this one. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with my bootleg version. I think I paid like $20 or $30 for it, but it's pretty decent. I might just give that away to a gift to somebody. Okay, this next batch of games may be controversial. I'll come right out and say these are reproductions. And I don't know really what people have, like why they have a hang up on reproduction games. Reproduction collectibles are a thing in like every collecting genre, and it's not as controversial in any of them as it is with like game collecting. And I don't understand why. I play guitar, and I have like a 1959 Gibson Les Paul reproduction. It's not made as a reproduction or a counterfeit. It's made by the Gibson Custom Shop. They reproduce their own guitars from 70 years ago and sell them to the public. And there's tons of reproduction guitars out there. Slash from Guns N' Roses used a reproduction 1959 Les Paul Gibson on the Appetite for Destruction album. So like Sweet Child of Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, all those all those songs were recorded on a reproduction guitar because you just can't get the originals. Like they're $500,000 now for like a beat up one. So you just can't get them. And you know, there are reproduction coins, there are reproduction vintage guns that people buy and use because they are afraid of firing these antique guns. And there's reproduction art. They call that a print, right? If you want a copy of Van Gogh's Starry Night, you don't go spend $400 million to buy it. You buy a reproduction to hang up because you want to enjoy it and be surrounded by it. But there's a limited availability, or they don't work, or they're not safe to use, or they're prohibitively expensive, or whatever the case. So I mentioned that my reproduction of Panorama Cotton, I bought that like cheap off eBay or something because I wanted to play it, and I didn't have like a a multi-cart or anything like that to play it, and I didn't want to play it on an emulator, so that's why I got that. These games I picked up from a company, and the reason why, first of all, I just wanted to try them out and see what the quality was like. Second, they're having a big sale, so I couldn't pass them up. It was too good of a deal. 3, this game right here, Winds of Thunder, which is also Lords of Thunder in the United States. I have bought this game. This is my 5th time buying this game. I bought it the first time on the PC Engine at a game convention and paid like, $200 for it or something. Brought it home, didn't work. The disc looked perfect, would not read. Don't know what the deal is. It was out $200. I resold the manual in the cart and I recouped like maybe $80 or something like that. Then I ordered another copy off eBay and got it, and it had disc rot. It did not work. Super bummed. I paid like $120 for that or something. Then I bought the Sega CD version, Lords of Thunder, for $350. Brought it back. It did not work. Then I picked up a copy of it from a friend, and it played like I could play like the first 2 levels. And this is on the TurboGrafx CD. And then after that, it crashed. It wouldn't work. And I was so fed up with it. And I really liked this series, and I really wanted these games. So there's a company out there called PCE Works, and they make reproductions of PC Engine games. And from what I hear, they're clearly labeled as reproductions, but they are like factory pressed discs. And I have to tell you guys, the quality of this looks nicer than a real brand new PC Engine game. And I've bought a few PC Engine games brand new, and this like rivals them. This is like immaculate. And say what you want about reproduction games, I don't consider these as like, if I was going for a full PC Engine set, I wouldn't say that this fulfilled the spot of Winds of Thunder, like at all. This isn't the real release, this is a reproduction, but this is a nice quality game that can sit on the shelf and look good, and I can actually play it and it'll last years, because this is a factory press disc. This isn't a burned disc, and this is as close as you can get to the real thing without having the real thing. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, if I ever decide to go for the full PC Engine set, which I probably never will because that's like insane, I'll have to replace these with the real thing. But these are the ones I'll keep around, actually play and use. So people are going to have to get over these reproduction game things. They fill a different niche and a different spot in a collection than the real thing does. And I don't have a problem with them. To me, this is like no different than getting a multi-cart and using an emulator. You just want to play the game. I just want to play the game, but I want something on the shelf. And I like the feeling of popping the disc into the console and playing it. That's what gives me the nostalgia and makes me happy. So I have no problem with these. And I think they're a really good job. Or the maker of these, I think his name's Tobias. He did a really good job with these, and they're fantastic. So I'll show you all the ones I picked up. Like I said, they had a huge sale. I picked up a bunch of these. So, like I said, first up is Winds of Thunder. This is Lords of Thunder in the United States, but part of the Gates of Thunder kind of series. Really cool. This is supposed to have fantastic music, like maybe the best of any shmup of all time. I'm looking forward to that. Just as a gift for my order, I guess this Christmas, they threw in Wonder Boy 3, Monster's Lair. I don't really know about this. There's like multiple Wonder Boy 3 games. I think there's this one, which was maybe an arcade game that they ported to the PC Engine. And then there's also like the one on the Mega Drive that has a different name. I don't know if they're the same games or not. Anyway, I've only dabbled a little bit in the Wonder Boy series, but this one looks pretty cool. And it comes in like a slip cover. And I'll show you what the discs look like. Like this is not burned. This is a factory pressed disc. I mean, this is like what you get if you opened a new copy. It looks fantastic. So I'm excited about it. And thanks for throwing this in, by the way, for free. That's a nice treat. Here's one of their boxed sets. And I think PCE Works puts most of their games in these like box sets that you get. And I picked this one up. This has, this is the Shooting Legends box set, and it has Nexer, which is supposed to be a great shmup. Shmup Junkie says it's like one of his favorites. It also has Nexer Special, which was the 1993, I forget what they call them, like carnival, shooting carnival shmup that they did, Summer Carnival, that's it. So like Rekka was the one on the NES for like 92, 93 was the Nexer version. It's included in here. Then there's Spriggan, which is like a heavy hitter on the PC Engine, Spriggan 2, and then Steam Hearts, which is like a hentai shmup that I don't think is supposed to be very good, and I know it's very lewd and a little risque and probably not appropriate, but I wanted the other games in here so badly that, you know, it was worth to get the box set. But I'll try out Steam Hearts, who knows, maybe it's worth playing even with the, you know, inappropriate subject matter. Also in that batch, Sylphia, another heavy hitter on the PC Engine. And man, these look great. These are going to be fantastic on the shelf. I'm really looking forward to these. Here's the heaviest hitter PC Engine game ever, and I would never have the chance to play this if I had not gotten this reproduction, because I've been looking for this game, and trust me, I have no problem shelling out like $1,000 from a game. I mean, if I want it bad enough, I'll do it. You can see behind me, but this is one of those kind of games, and this is a cool way to play it, to know if I really want to get the real thing. But Sapphire, supposed to look amazing, like really amazing. It requires the arcade card, which I don't have. I have you can see it right there, the PC Engine Duo R. It has like the cards. The PC Engine requires these expansion cards to play a lot of games. That's what this like arcade and things on the side mean. This has all of them included except for the arcade card, which I had to order off eBay for like $70. So I ended up paying $70 to play a reproduction game. That's fine. I want to play it bad enough to do it. StarPerodia, I can't remember. This is like the Hudson Soft Parodia series that has like Bomberman and all that sort of stuff. That's their version of Konami's Parodia series. So this one's supposed to be a lot of fun. This one was really on my wish list for a long time to pick it up. And it's not super expensive, but I threw it in on this bundle with the reproductions because it was such a good deal. I couldn't pass up on it, you know. So here you go. And still continuing with these, Bonk III, another super heavy hitter. Looks fantastic. I mean, it looks great. You can see it's marked PCE Works on the back. So people know it's not like a counterfeit or whatever. But this is really fun. I like the Bonk games, and I didn't think I would ever be able to really play this one, but I'm excited to have it. Reizamber 3, another shmup that is not supposed to be very great, but is pretty rare. I can't remember if I played Reizamber 3 or 2 on the FM Towns Marty. My buddy owns one and brought it over. That's like the rarest, most obscure console I know of. And I think it has like one exclusive game on it that isn't found on any other system, which is probably why the system failed. But I think it's like Reizamber 2 or 3. It has to be 2, right? Because 3 is on the Super CD. But it was very hard and unbalanced, and I was not a super fan of it. It's definitely not worth going out and getting an FM Towns Marty for, but it's still fun to have, and it's kind of an esoteric sort of game, and I like that. I like the obscure stuff, but this is in there with that. Here's another like lesser known shoot 'em up, and like I said, most of these games were shoot 'em ups. I just love the genre, and the PC Engine and the PC Engine CD is like the home to so many great shmups. But here we have another one, Download 2. I've never played this. I played Download 1, and it's like really good, surprisingly good, and a hidden gem, so they say. So I've never played it, but I want to try Download 2. Sorry, I have played it, but I've never played Download 2. I want to try this one, see if it holds up against the first one. I don't think it will, or you would hear about this more often, and you kind of don't. And this one I know is a really good game, and it's like the people that know about this, and the people that don't. But it's Psychic Storm, supposed to be really good. This was also on my wish list for a long time, and I could not find a copy of this at like any convention I went to. Even these ones that are like, you know, it looks like they have 5 million games and they're all imports. When I would ask about this, they're like, huh? So there's a few copies up on eBay, but they're like beat up and old and just torn up. And so it's cool to invest in this and try it out and see if I really want to get the real one someday. All right, we're down to the last 2 games. I waited a long time for these. This is probably my favorite game of all time. And if you know me, you've heard me talk about this, but this is the newest release of these. And I bought the PS5 and the Switch version. I had to have them, as always. And the cover is kind of nondescript, but it's the Binding of Isaac Repentance. And it has the brimstone logo on the front. And I think this is Ed McMillan's kind of logo, but you see from the side, Binding of Isaac Repentance and Binding of Isaac Repentance. There you go. And they have like cards for the Four Souls board game, which I have. My wife and I like to play that one sometimes. But these are sealed, but they did these strange, like, you know when you go to like GameStop and you buy a game and it's like new, but it's the open copy they put on the shelf, and to seal it, they put it in these like press and stick kind of bags. This is sealed in those press and stick bags. And I mean, I think the game itself is sealed inside, but the whole package is sealed in one of those press and steel bags. And that's strange to me because like this UPC and this, all this stuff here with like the controllers and the important information and the maturity rating, this is on the outside of that press and seal bag. And the Ed McMillan sticker that says like bonus stuff inside, dudes, is also on the outside of this, which means that this press and seal bag is part of a complete copy of this game. If you want a sealed complete copy of this game, you have to have this outside press and seal bag, which I don't mind too much, but what I don't like is this seam, and you can see it here, this seam running down the side. That looks really bad on a shelf, which means like you have to display this facing forward. And so Binding of Isaac, I love it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's my desert island game. I think if I had to be stuck on a desert island with only one game, it would be this game. And I have played it for like 1,000 hours or something, and I watch people play Binding of Isaac every single day. When I'm at work, I listen to like Northern Lion and Sinvicta play Binding of Isaac and listen to it. It's like a podcast, and they just talk about their day-to-day life while playing the Binding of Isaac, and I love it, and I just can't get enough of it. And so I'm really excited to play these. These are going to be a gold star game. I have not played Repentance yet. The last thing I played was Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, and I think maybe some of the DLC that came out for that, but I've been waiting for this. So I will bust open the PS5 version and play it, and the Switch version I will keep sealed to go along with the sealed Binding of Isaac set. I have the Unholy Edition on the PC, which was the original Flash version of Isaac, and the only physical version of that was the UK version, and I have it sitting over there. I have Afterbirth Plus sealed on the Switch. I have Afterbirth Plus on the PS4 open. I played it. But I also have, and this is kind of neat, Afterbirth Plus, but the display-only version. This is what they put on the shelves at GameStop, and I asked if I could have it. They said, no, you can't have it. Like, you can't have we need the case, but you can have the artwork. So I popped it in a box here, and you can see on the inside it's got like the price, $39.99, and it has the back with all the advertising on it. I love this, and it's so cool. And I think I have enough games now in the Binding of Isaac series to do like a little shrine somewhere, since it really is one of my favorite. I think it may be my favorite game of all time. I love this game. And I wish I could get like a Binding of Isaac plushie or something like that. They're just he's so cute with all his tears. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Everything's going really well for you. And thank you for all the support. There's going to be another video next week. There's one every Saturday, come rain or shine. Next week, it's going to be the top 10 games of the year. Top 10 games I've played this year. I play everything randomly, so it's not going to be just games from 2022. So you never know what you're going to get, just like while I'm playing all these games. But thanks once again, guys, and I'll catch you next time.